Hey guys, welcome to another market review session with us tonight. And straight up, we'll be going into some of the currency indices together, and then we will also be looking at some currency pairs together. All right, so this is the DXY chart, which is the US dollar indices, all right, or index rather. And as you can see, as already drawn out using the path tool, this is what I'll be expecting dollar to play out as, all right, in the couple or in the coming days or weeks. All right, so I'd want to see, since we're already in this very interesting zone, all right, I want to see price come up a bit, all right, from that zone, all right, take up liquidity that has been left behind by this imbalance, all right. Then we can probably see price coming to drop just a bit lower. All right, I'm also going to be watchful for this gap. All right, during the course of the week, I won't see exactly how dollar would be playing out. All right, there's this very interesting gap here that I'm going to be watching out for. So in the eventuality that we do get to see price break above this, then I'll be watching out for dollar to still again push up just a bit into this gap before we get to see that drop. All right, but overall my bias on DXY will be something towards the tone of a buy to sell movement. All right, towards a tone of the buy to sell movement. So if I don't get that sell off directly from here, I'll be watching out for what would happen when price gets to this gap. All right, this gap is between 106.642 and 106.516. all right, so I hope that is clear for the US dollar. All right, that's DXY. Next up, we'll be looking at BXY, which is the British pound or a currency index. And currently on BXY, we've seen that we had a little bit of a bullish run happen during the course of last week. All right, so this was, I think, on Friday, all right, which was also the time we had the major news release or high impact news release on the dollar. All right, and I would be expecting BXY to be weak during the course of this week. However, I want to see something closer to, all right, a sort of a buy to sell movement. All right, so I want to be watching out for what price will do along this point. All right, so I'll probably watch out for BXY or the Great British Pound, all right, to get a little bit of strength. All right, then we'll get to see that drop. But for my bias, all right, for the way I'm looking at it, I'm watching out for a potential drop from this zone, all right, which is between 124.25 and 123.38. all right, so I'm watching out closely for a drop from that zone. All right, so I hope that is clear. Also, next up, we'll be looking at AXY, which is the Australian dollar currency index. And currently on AXY, I would be watching out for something similar, which would be for a buy to sell. All right, currently we've seen that price has got into this resistance that has held up for the past couple of weeks, and I just want to watch out for possible reactions. All right, I want to see if probably we can get a liquidity sweep, all right, or a sweep of previous highs, as it were, all right, from here. All right, and then we get to see price come into this order block on this time frame. This is this is between 66.18 and 65.48. so I want to see if we can get price shooting up into that zone before we get to see that sell movement. All right, however, if we get to see this resistance here still holding up, then we can just see probably a drop from there. All right, but however it is, my bias on AXY would still be a buy to sell to happen. All right, so a buy to sell. Next up, we'll be looking at CXY, which is the Canadian dollar or a currency index. And as we can see, as I have drawn out here, I would still be watching out for something, all right, similar, which would just be for a short buy to sell. All right, currently probably let me go up to the daily time frame to show us this a bit better. All right, currently we're at a very interesting spot, all right, which is shown with this trend line, and I want to watch out for possible rejections from this trend line. All right, what would have happened will be, or what would happen in that wise would be a sort of break and retest of that trend line. So we'll see that price has broken that trend line, coming back for that retest of that trend line before we get to see that drop happen from there. All right, so yeah, I'm sure if we use our Fibonacci tool, all right, to just measure up from around there, we'll see that, all right, we're already at our sweet zone or our sweet spot, as it were, on the daily time frame. And that also coincides with the fact that we already have that trend line set on that place. So I'm watching out for something like it just be a short buy, all right, to a sell on CXY also. All right, next up, and which will be the last currency indices we'll be looking at together, would be the Japanese yen basket. All right, that's JPY basket. All right, give me a minute. Yes, JPY basket. All right, so we got to see JPY basket being weak, or JPY currency being weak, all right, during the course of last week, and I want to see something similar still continue. All right, but overall I want to, or for sorry, for this for the earlier days of this week rather, I want to see price still push up a bit, all right, into this zone. All right, this zone is just something I marked out using our Fibonacci tool. All right, so I just want to watch out for this zone. All right, however, I also want to be watchful for this, something like this to happen. All right, if we do not get to see price coming up to that zone, all right, I just want to watch out for probably along this area. All right, so we might just get to see that drop happen once we get to see price get to, yeah, this is let me just quickly get that for us. So this is between, this is around 6759 or so. All right, so overall my bias on JPY basket also will be a buy to sell. Right, I just have a lot of zones to watch out for, or a lot of points I want to watch out for on JPY basket. So overall I'm expecting JPY basket to be weak. All right, but during the earlier days of this week we might be able to see some strength coming from JPY basket. All right, so quickly let's look at some commodities together, and first off we'll be looking at gold. First off we will be looking at gold. All right, sorry, give me a minute. Yes. All right, so this is gold on the 4-hour time frame. As you can see, all right, we had that buy off. This was something that happened during the news release on Friday, where we had price coming straight up into the zone, and then we had that short rejection. All right, if you go down to probably like the 30 minutes or the 15 minutes, you'll be able to see that a bit better. Now I have two scenarios that I want to watch out for, so let me just go down to the 2-hour time frame to show us this a bit better. I have two scenarios I want to watch out for on gold. All right, scenario one would be for us to have a break above this zone here. All right, I think this zone is something I marked out on like the 5 minutes or so. All right, scenario one would be for us to have a break above this zone, and scenario two, all right, would be for price to shoot below the, like to just continue in this sort of sell movement from where it is right now. All right, and for me personally, I would be more I'll be leaning more, all right, towards scenario two, which would be for us to have a sell off from here. All right, and that will be because currently we've had that rejection from here, and it is very likely for us to just get to see price continue in that wise towards the downside. All right, already that being said, rather, I still want to be watchful. All right, if we get to see price break above, all right, this zone, which is between 2008.28 and 1998.89, I'll be watching out for price probably getting up into this zone. Let me go up to the daily to show us that a bit better. If you have been around for the past couple of market sessions, you will have seen this. All right, so this is a zone I'm closely watching out for price getting to, and then having a sell off from. All right, but for the meantime I just want to watch out for possible reactions during the course of this week, and currently I'm expecting the gold, rather I'm expecting gold to just keep dropping, all right, from this point. All right, so if at all during the course of this week we get to see a break above this zone, then definitely my bias would change. All right, next up we'll be looking at US 30. All right, US 30, and I think during the last market review I gave this this buy on US 30, and as you can see it performed beautifully well. All right, I gave the buy from around here. All right, this was, yes, I gave the buy from around here, and we got to see that it even got to our TP, broke our TP, and is still looking to shoot up some more. All right, so currently on US 30, my bias would be, my bias would be for us to have a buy to sell movement on US 30. All right, so during the course of this week I want to see the US 30 just probably break above this resistance here. All right, this is 34161.84. All right, let me call that again, 34161, yes, 0.84. So I want to see price break above that resistance. All right, possibly get a retest from this previous zone that we have marked out here. All right, and then we get to see price come up into this zone before we continue for our sell, or to continue with our sell as the case would be. All right, so for that will be my bias for US 30, a buy to sell, all right, on US 30. Next up we'll be looking at USD CAD. All right, the United States dollar against the Canadian dollar. All right, and for USD CAD also, we had that, I think during the course of last week's market review, I was looking at this sell off to happen. I was looking for a sell to buy, all right, on US 30 last week. All right, and unfortunately, or not unfortunately anyway, we got to see US 30, US CAD rather, perform quite well with this sell. All right, and it got to our zone. I think our zone was somewhere around this area. All right, but we got to see it break below that. All right, which gave us that sense to be looking for continuation for the sell. And currently my bias on USD CAD for this week, all right, would be bullish. All right, would be bullish. All right, I'm expecting possible reactions from this zone, all right, that we have already marked out around here. All right, so let me go up to the daily to just quickly point us towards something. I think this zone was something that we marked, all right, about 2 or 3 market reviews ago, or we marked it out on the 2 hour time frame, and we've seen that we've gotten that beautiful drop, all right, from there. And during the course of this week, I will be expecting USD card, all right, to buy. So my bias for USD card during the course of this week will be for a buy, all right. So I just want to watch out for possible rejections. As you can see, we have a zone that is also coinciding with a very, very strong trend line. I think we should be able to see that trend line better on the daily time frame. Give me a minute, please. Yes, all right. So as you can see on the daily time frame, is a bit better. We've had we've had 3 reactions from that trend line. We've seen price break above that trend line. So I'm watching out for something similar to a break and retest. All right. So I just want to see what price will do when it gets back to this trend line, which is also coinciding with this zone. All right. So I hope that is clear for USD card. Next up, we'll be looking at GBP JPY. All right. The Great British Pound against the Japanese yen. All right. Give me a minute, please. Yes, very good. All right, so for GBP JPY, as I said during the course of last week's market review session, all right, I was watching for price to break below this support, and we didn't get that. All right, and we saw that this support held up quite well, and then we had that continuing bullish move on GBP JPY. All right, so right now what I'll be watching out for would be still a sell. All right, but from this zone, all right, this is between so let me quickly get the coordinates to that. So 185.789 and 184.964. All right, so I'm watching out for a sell very soon on GBP JPY. So we might just have GBP JPY probably pull up a bit more into this zone for comfortable sakes. All right, and then we get to see that sell out. But my bias for GBP JPY during the course of this week would be for a sell. All right, so I'm watching out for more sells on GBP JPY during the course of this week. Now, I'm not saying that sell would necessarily be long. All right, I think a sell might just happen. I might just even say it's stopping around here. All right, but I was still watching out for a reaction from this zone towards the tone of a sell. All right, for the earlier days of this week. All right, so I hope that is clear also for GBP JPY. All right, so next up we'll be looking at GBP USD. Oh wow, sorry, give me a minute, please. All right, so I think I had my network disconnect for a little bit, but it should be back. All right, yes. So next up, we'll be looking at GBP USD. All right, and similar to what we can see even on GBP JPY. All right, I'll be expecting a sell to happen very soon. All right, during the course of this week on GBP USD. All right, we might still get to see price pushing a bit into this zone. All right, but definitely I'm expecting a sell reaction to happen from here on GBP USD. This is a zone that we have had marked out since it's been a long while. It's been a long while. This is since last month or so. All right, we'll be watching out for price coming into that zone, and finally we've seen price gets towards there. All right, I've seen price in that zone. All right, this is between let me give us the coordinates quickly. This is between 1.24284 and 1.23698. All right, so I want to watch out for sales happening on GBP USD during the course of this week from that zone. All right, next up we'll be looking at AUD USD. Now during the course of last week we were expecting AUD USD to give us a sort of sell from here. All right, and we got shanked beautifully on AUD USD. All right, however, during the course of this week, now we've seen that price has already come up to, all right, this previous resistance. All right, this is around 0.65122. All right, we've seen that price has actually been pushed multiple times, all right, from that resistance. And currently I just want to watch out for I think I already saw something similar. We already saw something similar to this on I can't remember, probably USD card or gold. All right, but something similar to us having a liquidity sweep, all right, or a sweep of previous highs, all right, from here, price getting into our other block. All right, this is between 0.66178 and 0.65497. all right, so I just want to watch out for a sell-off from that zone. All right, so a sweep of the sweep of previous highs from here gets into the zone, and then we get to see that sell-off happen on AUD USD. So that's my bias or AUD USD. Next up, we'll be looking at Euro USD, and then finally we'll be looking at USD JPY. All right, so it's something similar as we have seen for GBP USD and even AUD USD. I'm also watching out for a sell on Euro USD. However, for Euro USD, I'm not going to be giving us a zone exactly, all right, but I'm going to be watching out for sales to happen very soon. All right, I'm still watching out for possible sweep of liquidity from here. All right, might just have a little bit of a candle that might just break above here, sweep up liquidity. All right, probably to get some people stop losses. All right, before we get to see that sell off. But for sure, I'm watching out for sales on Euro USD, all right, during the course of this week. All right, so lastly, for tonight's market review, we'll be looking at USD JPY. Now, during the course of last week, we were expecting some sales, all right, to happen on USD JPY, which we got to see quite well. All right, now what I'm just going to be watching out for, was it sales or buy? I think we're watching out for buys. All right, so we got to see price actually shoot a bit lower than we were expecting. All right, we're expecting from here. All right, but we got to see this being broken, and we got to see price shoot a bit lower before we got to see, all right, that buy movement. All right, now currently I will be watching, so let me just delete this. Yes, so currently I'm watching out for some buys to still happen also on USD JPY. All right, however, that being said, however, I want to be watchful for one or two things. All right, this zone, all right, as much as I am watching out for a buy from this zone, I want to be careful also. If we get to see price breaking below this zone, let me just quickly mark out something using our Fibonacci tool. Give me a minute, please. All right, so if I get to see price break below this zone, all right, I want to watch out for buys, but I'm not going to enter immediately. All right, I'll be watching out for other confirmations, probably on the lower time frames before I enter this trade. All right, but if we get to see price break below this zone, then definitely I'll be watching out for this zone, which is between 148.301 and 147.767. All right, so I'll be watching out for something like this to happen if we get to see price break below this zone. All right, so this will be my bias for USD JPY. Either we have that straight up buy or we have a sell to buy movement happening on USD JPY. In any of these cases, I would be watching out for more confirmations before taking any of these trades. All right, make sure you are a reactive trader, not a predictive trader. Don't try and predict, don't try and enter anyhow. All right, make sure that you watch out for what the market is doing and then react to what you are seeing on your charts. All right, and I'm sure that we are going to have a very profitable week this week. All right, so thank you once again for joining us for tonight's market review. I want you to drop a like or drop a comment, share this video, and share to your friends. Share to at least 200 friends. Share to 200. All right, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye guys, good night.